Welcome to our tub. Come on in. It's warm inside, and there's always room for more.
This podcast contains adult material and is intended for mature audiences only. If you're under 18, grab your rubber ducky and find another tub. This one's not for you. Hello and welcome back in the tub for episode 182. I'm Mr. Berg.
And I'm Mrs. Berg.
And this is take two, yes. One of those days. And, well, if you listened to last week's episode, in the intro, we discussed some of these interviews then really have gone over that kind of target of 1 hour episodes that we've done in the past and tried to hit. This one as well is a little bit longer, but so freaking worth it. Mm-hmm. Our guest this week, we talked to for, gosh, what was it, Mrs.? An hour after?
Yeah, at least, probably. Yeah.
You know, as she says during the interview, you know, her husband is a performer as well. He was there and popped on, and we really had some fun conversation. Mm-hmm. From her start in the industry to family to, you know, her own website and behind the camera work and really doing what she does her own way. Mm-hmm. And not being able to, or not being afraid to say, hey, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And she's doing a freaking great job at it. Mm-hmm. It's this name, you know, when we get there, might be new to some people, as she does talk about her rebranding and a little change over the last couple months that's happening. So a lot going on, but a great businesswoman, just a great person in general. We had a truly awesome time getting to know her and talking to her. And look forward to, at some point in the future, getting to meet in person, because it was a really fun conversation.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah. So we want to thank, once again, Lainey Spicer for bringing our guest to the tub for this conversation. And that guest is...
GoGo Zombi.
All right, welcome back in the tub for this week's conversation with our next special guest. We want to thank Lainey Spicer for coordinating this conversation and bringing this beautiful, curvy, tattooed, award-nominated industry veteran into the tub. Over her years in the industry, she has graced the screens of Hussy Pass, Elegant Angel, and Ethnic Passions, just to name a few. Now, you can find her spending time behind the camera as well of GoGoWorldPorn.com, as she brings her vision of great sex from her mind to life on screen, as well as sharing her knowledge and experiences straight into your bedroom as consultant for Bedroom Candy. Please welcome GoGo Zombi.
Hi.
How are you?
That's like the most detailed, perfect intro I've ever had. Like, what?
Well, we do our research, as listeners have come to know. I mean, sometimes it's watching some videos, and you know, hey, you know, it's a tough world.
Yeah.
Tough job, but somebody's got to do it, right?
Yes.
Well, again, welcome. Thank you for taking time out, as we just listed what you got going on. You do a little bit of everything. Definitely a busy woman.
Yes, and you know, I thank you, because you know it's been difficult. It's been a little confusing with the name change. You know, GoGo Fuck Me to GoGo Zombie. You know, so. You know, I love being on this platform and also getting that out there. Like, it just seems like I'm everywhere right now.
Yeah, good. So as we kind of get settled, can you because as you just said, name change, different things, can you let the listeners know where can they find you online and on social media?
You can find me, of course, on Twitter, right? GoGo, FUKME, number 3 and the letter X. So GoGo Fuck Me 3X. And you'll see my name, GoGo Zombie, up there. You can find me on Instagram, Saint Sarah Bruja. You can find me on my site, gogoworldporn.com. And that's the biggest one, right? The new site that has launched. We launched in February, but right now we're just doing like some really great promo, and I'm releasing new series, which is something that's a little different than other creator sites and other adult entertainer sites, how they release scene by scene. I'm kind of releasing series by series. Like, coming up is Milf Fiesta, Rican Heat, African Meat.
Nice.
And I thought of the name. I was like, this is great, right? So, it's a 6-scene series, kind of like old school, right? So that's my passion, is to kind of bring back that glamorous old school that I came in 10 years ago, well, actually 12 years ago in the industry, West Coast Productions and stuff, and put the glamour back into it, especially my big booty Black girls and Latinas, and bring out new and exciting series, and I think the fans will really like that. So, especially go ahead to gogoworldporn.com, and, a little bit of reality series going on there, and porn series, and just, it's going to be really nostalgic, but also something modern and sexy. So
nice. And what you just said, we have heard that quite a few times in previous interviews. Bringing the glamour back to the industry. Yes. We've talked to and we've become friends with, some veterans from the 90s era. Mm-hmm. And that is something that they have said. Like, it was glamorous back then. And they missed that today. To hear you say that as a younger performer, that, hey, we want to roll it back 20 years, and the glitz and the glamour and everything, it's just become very common. We've heard it a lot.
So I'm going to tell you a little story. So when I was too young to go into an adult store, and this is back, VHS.
Uh-huh.
All right. I was raised by the 90s, okay?
Uh-huh. I was as well, yep.
Yep. So this is back VHS, okay? And I'm shaking like a leaf because I know I'm not supposed to be there, and I don't want them to card me, Mm-hmm. So I grab like just some VHS like off the shelf, and I buy like my first porn that I buy, right? And that porn was Insatiable from 1980.
Okay.
And when I tell you, right? So I'm trying to look for, that's what I was looking at, right? So it was, it was from 1973.
Oh, wow.
And was it Marilyn Chambers?
Wow. Yeah, okay. That's a name. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let me tell you, this woman, and mind you, it's not like the DVDs that even when I got in, like West Coast Productions, right? It was one girl. She had co-stars and stuff, but this one VHS was centered around Marilyn Chambers, right? And when I tell you this scene where she comes home to her mansion, but she lands in a helicopter on a helipad at her mansion, and she gets out into the pool of naked men, right? Like, and they're doing it by the pool. And even her in her sports car, right? Oh my God, I ran out of gas. And then the sexy guy comes by and drops trousers right there next to her sports car on the side of a desert somewhere. When I tell you, I was like, holy shit, this is what I want to be, right? I don't think in my mind I ever thought I would do it like on camera, but I'm like, this is what I think. Just like how young boys are like, this is what sex is, when they watch porn. I'm like, this is what sex is, right? Like, you know, and it's a little bit of princess in there too. Like, this is what I want my sex to be. I want a man to, like, you know, do all that, right? But that is my first, you know, example of what porn on a movie was like, right?
Yeah, and you get those preconceived things. I mean, my parents owned a video rental store as I was growing up. And so literally it was like, oh, well, what's in the drawers? What do people get by the number? I'm like, well, what the hell is that? And it's like, oh, wait, you see an empty box buried in a back storage room. You're like, whoa, all right, I'm 10 years old. Shit, I got to find a VCR to throw this into. And it's like, oh, shit. And that was those mid 80s. And I mean, that was, you know, it's funny because the first video I ever remember seeing, we literally have met two of those performers since we started the show. You know, it's so funny because it's like, oh yeah, I remember watching you bang when I was like, yeah, definitely underage.
Yeah, I was probably 12 when I did that. Not 12. No, I wasn't 12 because I went and got it myself. I think 12 was when I found my first vibrator in the house. But no, like I was probably like 16, 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could have waited like a year or two, but no. So it was right around the corner from my house, and you know, just being that, right? But then, you know what also got me was, do you remember BET Uncut?
No.
So at a certain hour, BET, the music channel, right, Black Entertainment Television, at a certain hour, it would turn into BET Uncut. And all those videos, and the number one video that always played on BET Uncut, shout out to Ludacris, Pussy Poppin', you know? And it was shot at Magic City, and it had all the strippers on headstands and shaking their ass and like pussy out and all this other shit. So, and I think like BET Uncut, Outkast, Bombs Over Baghdad, that music video, that shout out to my favorite group, Outkast, right? Those were the first times that I saw girls like me. Uncut, glamorous things, right? And it was still glamorous. It was just different, right? It was black. Look, my partner, hey Sir Goldie, another porn star. Can you do me a favor, bring me soda? Thank you, babe. I'm confident, soft spoken. But yes, so that was the first time that I saw like video vixen, big booty black girls being. It was damn near porn.
And you're right, because in the 80s, that wasn't.
No.
It was, and we talk a lot about that. I mean, over the years, too, it was no tattoos. It was blonde, big breasts. That's what it was. And you didn't see that the ethnic, you know, people of color. There wasn't a lot of that where it was mainstreamed as compared to now. It's like, thank gosh, because there's that. Tattoos are accepted, and why not? But that was the era that we were in, where you didn't see that in the 80s, really even much of the early 90s either. You did not see that. There were a very few African American men, very few.
And they kept them in rotation, honey. Them big black chicks in rotation.
And that's what, I mean, you think about it. There was maybe 3 of them that you knew from back then. And it was, you know, your Shawn Michaels, your, Shane Diesel. Shane Diesel was back then. And literally, it was. It was like, all right, that's how it is.
Let's now it's everywhere. Some of the hood ones. Let's do Mandingo. Wesley Pipes. And that's who I styled myself after. Wesley Pipes. I always said I'm the female Wesley Pipes. Everyone said when I first came out, I'm the female Wesley Pipes because I fuck back and I talk a lot of shit when I do porn. But I also want to, like, you know, shamelessly plug one company that books me a shit ton, that has booked me the most, is Brazzers. And I said this to a couple directors. I said, you know, that change, the big booty girl tattoos. I mean, hey, I look like freaking Little Kim and Nicki Minaj rolled up in one, right? Like and I sound like Cardi B because I'm Puerto Rican and from Brooklyn. So,
That's a hell of a mix. I mean, yeah.
Right? and shout out to them to, like, first of all, integrate us. Because remember, when I first came out, we were very separated. I was West Coast Productions, Evasive Angles, Freak of the Week, right? The thing that I saw growing up, right? Damn near music videos, but with porn. And then here comes Brazzers, and they're like, no, let's throw these girls in the mix. And I'm like, moi?
Yeah. Come over to the East Coast and let's do this here. Yeah.
Yeah, and they really let me, the directors, it's so funny because Jim Powers, who shoots for Gamma and Adult Time and all that, he would tell me when I come on set, because he saw a lot of my old stuff, and he goes, full-blown GoGo. So full-blown GoGo is Wesley Pipes' GoGo, right? And then he'll tell me, like, half GoGo, because we don't want to scare the guy. Like, it depends on the scene, right?
Nice.
So shout out to, like, those companies that kind of let me do what I wanted to do because of what I saw, and what I wanted to be. And of course, half the time I gotta kind of like, oh my God, where is my, vibrator? Sometimes I have to switch it up to that. But if I could, which GoGo World is really important to me, if I could be, go all the time, that's what it is. I feel like, people now, I mean, look at how they love Sexy Red. Look at how they love Nicki. Look at how they love Cardi. Look at how they love Meg Thee Stallion. I want that girl, right? You don't know if she's going to make a rap album or suck some dick.
And that's it's going to be damn good no matter what they do. That's it.
I want them to flow, like, you used to just be able to go in and fucking flow. And I want them to come in looking like I said, like a rapper, and then leave looking fucked, So bringing that BT Uncut, that music video, that even that Insatiable, right? That glamour back, and I believed it back then, because a woman like that in Insatiable, of course she fucking has sex on a helipad. Like, of course she does, and I believed it. I don't believe the pizza guy. I don't believe the young pizza guy. Then all of a sudden he has 12 inches. Like, I don't believe that.
Exactly. Yeah. Big sausage pizza, okay. Yeah. But as well, that glamour. I mean, I remember the early days of AVN when it was magazine. I mean, don't. And you look at that and and just talking AVN, we have not made it to. We have been nominated multiple times for an AVN for the podcast, but we've not made it out there. I mean, we're East Coast based. We're in Pittsburgh, and January is always a tough.
I went to college in Philly.
All right, yeah, and it's never made it. But we look and we see, like, what the awards show is today, what it was back in the day. And it was ball gowns, and it was like that top level glamour. I
still do it. Have you seen my AVN photos? I still do it because that is what I want, us to be like again. And unfortunately, like you, until I moved to Vegas, I'm from New York, went to college in Philly. And, by the time I came to Vegas and was like, okay, we're here, we got to do AVNs, right? It was gone. And, not to talk shit. Thank you, AVN, for nominating me every year for some shit. But, okay, so I don't know, and I will never say a performer's name, anything like that. And I'm not shit talking or whatever. But when I saw them letting people on red carpet on crutches, I knew the days were gone.
Yeah,
the days were gone.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a bit. But again, to see if the glamour were to come back, and two, I think the pandemic unfortunately has changed some of that, because you turn around now and the big full length movies, you don't see much of anymore. The big budget stuff is pretty much gone. I mean, granted, you have your Adult Times and your Wickeds that are doing, great thing. Adult Time does great stuff. Wicked does good things. You see some stuff still from Axel and from Ricky Greenwood, and personally, I love the shit Axel Braun does. I'm big into the Marvel and all that.
Yes,
but that stuff you are never going to see. So, for example, Pirates from back in and people still talk about that. Somebody actually posted on social media the other day. They were like, does anybody have a copy of, Pirates on DVD? Yeah, we have the 2-disc set.
Yeah.
But that stuff, I think, unfortunately, the pandemic, that's over.
You know what? I don't think it's so over.
Or it's very small. It's not as big as it was. Yeah.
The companies aren't doing it, but I think, and that's why I say GoGo World is nostalgic, right? Because I think that the fans would enjoy it. I think that they would like it. I think that they need to be reminded, right, of what it was, and it does take a little bit of budget because, like I said, I'm dropping Milk Fiesta 6 scenes, and let alone getting 6 girls that are all Rican and then, doing all this stuff. I get the budget and everything like that, but they're not, I don't know why they're not pushing, right? So there's one company that I don't know if they've done, longer movies like we're talking about, but their quality and how they shoot definitely could be, and they're really racy. It's called Disciples of Desire. Have you seen them around?
No, huh?
Oh my God! So mind you, they are in cahoots in some kind of way with Jack Slayer.
Okay, I know that. Okay,
so,
I know that name.
Yes. So mind you, when I tell you, there's this one scene that I'll always there's a couple that I always remember, but he's in the Lambo door, one of those fancy cars, full speed down the highway, fucking this girl, hanging out the fucking Lambo doors, and I don't know who's driving the other car, but they're getting these awesome shots of Jack. And when I tell you, it was so cinematic, and I'm like, yes. And I don't know why they're not pushed like that. Maybe because there's a lot of golden showers, a lot of piss drinking, a lot of rainbows, a lot of that on both ends.
Yeah.
It's really kinky. Maybe it very rarely do I ever see regular sex. I don't see regular sex where they're coming from. But but I'm like, holy shit! These people push it, and I'm not going to say the company that they worked for, but big ass company, and a Marvel company, and so they have the equipment, they have the know-how, and I'm like, yo, if they could put some shit. Remember the video of Jax running down the street butt naked in some town, getting on a electric scooter, and it was on Twitter. They really do some really crazy productions, and I am hoping to get on that level. I have some golden shower stuff too, but less with the fetishy and more with just bringing that back to porn. And when I tell you, shout out to Jax too, that he knows how to get a girl there. I mean, you could see full zombie mode. The women are just there in it. He's the fuck in it. There's no, what limits do y'all have? It's wonderful. And they just flow with it. And I'm definitely trying to my vision is there. I'm just how do we chase down a Lambo? While someone's fucking, I'm just the know-how to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but trust and believe that. The shit's amazing. Check them out, Disciples of Desire. I'm fucking cultish fan, but they're exclusive to find their shit. They are, really low key with it. But I think the fans would love it and be obsessed, and not just in the way you're talking about with the pirates and with cosplay kind of in the parodies. I really want just the regular
Just a full length of something like with plot and good cinematic and something that kind of brings you in, not just all right, I'm looking for the pop shot. Yeah, give me the money shot. All right, no, give me a full story. Yeah,
or the joke. Like I love that Brazzers. I love that these companies have brought humor and memeable things and like things. I really know that it's a marketing strategy, but like it's hard for me to come when I'm laughing too.
That's and that's fair. And some of these, again, we've seen, the adult time, they have that funny plot to them, and there's the comedy to start. Then you get into the sex, and then at the end, it's comedy too. And it's like, all right, you know what? It's funny. It gives you a good chuckle. All right. But, from that end, like Mrs. loves something with a plot. She is definitely not a gonzo porn person. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, you got to get me into it. Like, give me a storyline.
It doesn't have to be a deep or long drawn out plot. Just a little something.
Yeah. Just a little, like a music video has a little plot sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's not, too crazy. But okay, personal question, Miss Pat, right? Mm-hmm. When you masturbate, or it could be during sex, right? Like I do this when I'm giving a blowjob to my dude, right? Mm-hmm. Do you fantasize with a plot?
Sometimes.
I do every time.
Yeah. Well, and at the same time, I mean, just conversation, even between the two of us, if it's in sex, that conversation of, wouldn't it be better if there was another guy with his cock in your mouth as I'm behind you? Well, that takes it over the edge. That brings that, oh shit, I'm coming now. So yeah, that fantasy, without a doubt.
And I'll tell you, for last year, it was wild. For like months, for some reason, my plot in my head, right? And this is terrible because Goldie is like, why do you think of this, right? So I'm blowing him, but my plot in my head is he's in jail and I'm a CO. Right? But it's like some gross shit. Like
the cop and prisoner through the rails, through the jail cell. There you go.
Yeah. Like, so I'm like blowing him and I'm imagining like my eyes are closed and I'm just like, and he's like, I know when you're thinking of something just off the wall because like you get really, really into it. So for like a few months, I don't know why I wanted him to be a prisoner. Like, he's not a criminal. Like, I don't know why. I just wanted him to be a prisoner. And he was, like, blackmailing me for something. So I had, like, this, like, obligate, like, I had to, like, in my brain, right? And now, I haven't told him this one yet, but I guess he'll find out, right? But now, it's the massage parlor.
Ah.
So when I'm blowing him or when I'm masturbating, he comes in for a massage. But I really want to make like more money, and it's not just him. Like, this is like my third or fourth dick I've blown today, so I'm working hard. Like, that's, in my head, I think of, that's where GoGo World, I guess, came from. Cause like, I have this little like freaky ass, like world in my head, and in real sex, like masturbation or any time where I'm not doing too much work, it's just me in an intimate thing, in silence almost. I fantasize in plots, and I like that. I don't need too much either. Like,
it's just that little tweak and little change, and yeah, there's absolutely nothing. And again, that's the porn world. That's adult entertainment. You're watching that for that fantasy take. So guess what? It doesn't always have to be on. Every one of us could have really damn vivid imaginations. That's for freaking sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just about being confident in yourself to have those thoughts or to verbalize them. And again, as yourself, you're saying, hey, guess what? Some of those are going into GoGo's world, onto your site. So an outlet for you to show that and bring that to screen is great. When you first started, did you envision that step of GoGo World porn and putting your thoughts as far as scenes and doing that?
No. So when I first started in porn, number one, I thought it was temporary because I was just trying to pay college tuition.
Yeah.
And then, so I'll tell you the creepy story, right? So I was with an older guy who was very misogynistic. He was really, I was probably like 19 or something. I turned 21 when I was with him. And he was probably in his mid to late 30s. And he had this big, my wife isn't going to do this, and my wife isn't going to do that, and my future wife. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this one guy came up to me and was like, you should model. And my wife isn't going to model and show her body to the world. And long story short, he ended up cheating on me. I broke up with him and immediately emailed, right? Went on West Coast Productions website, found some random emailed them, hey, I want to do porn. And 2 days later, got an email back from God knows who saying, fly to LA next week or something, and we'll shoot you and contact this person. That person at the time happened to be Terry Burton. Old name, right? Terry Burton. So, but mind you, I don't know what this was, but I took the last $800 I had, flew to LA, stayed at a Super 8, and called Terry Burton. And Terry Burton pulled up in like a Mercedes or something and took me 2 hours into the hills into a mansion to shoot porn. I absolutely could have been kidnapped. Absolutely. 21 years old. Absolutely could have been kidnapped. But it was just like, it was vengeful. And also, like, I wanted to make a bunch of money. But the only thing in my head that I think that I wanted to do was be me, So what I'm bringing to GoGo World, I wanted to bring to, like, I didn't know if it was going to translate or not, but I figured, hey, I'm already here and they're going to pay me. So just kind of, go in, and I had a few porn stars in mind to kind of like mimic, all of them men. Nat Turner, Wesley Pipes, and Lexington Steele.
Lex Steele, yep.
Yeah, so those three were like the only porn stars in my head that like I was like, I'm gonna emulate. So very masculine, right? And that's exactly what I did. I came in very fucking masculine, talking shit and fucking the guy back. And I didn't know if it looked good or not, right? But at the end, Terry was like, you've never done porn before. And I'm like, no, I haven't. He was like, how long can you stay in LA? And I'm like, as long, I guess, as you need me.
Yeah.
And then he just kept, like, he got other companies, and I just kept getting booked and booked and booked and booked. Now, mind you, I got home, and how porn worked back then, because it's still DVD at the time. Not a lot of people had, like, their own websites or whatever. 6 months later, your porn might drop.
Sure, yeah. It's not hey, next day like it is nowadays online.
Or even next week, right? So 6 months later, your porn drops. And then it takes another 6 months from it to get from the West Coast to the East Coast. And I'm in Philly at the time. So a whole year went by. No one knew I did porn. And then after that year, I don't know how she got my number. I'm sitting on the toilet peeing, and I get a phone call from Cali somewhere, and it was Pinky. And around that time, Pinky Triple X had dropped her website, and she said, you still shooting? And I'm like, yes. She's like, 2 weeks, I'm going to fly you out here. You're going to shoot for my site. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, I go back to Cali. Could have been kidnapped again. Don't know if it was the real Pinky or not. Just trusting, right? Stupid and trusting. But it was her. I go and we drive like another hour to her, place or whatever. And I end up shooting again, right? And I just knew that like this person, this character who really, was who I am, kind of masculine, aggressive woman, but still curvy and feminine. And I looked all innocent and young at the time, tatted up, I just knew that's what I wanted to continue being, and I wanted to, no one was really going to tell me, kind of like tone it down or whatever until I was ready to. So I came in more with like who I wanted GoGo to be, strategically, because once I saw it could be something, and then after shooting with Pinky, I'll be real, as soon as I came back home a week later, everyone knew I was that, because it dropped on her site probably by the time I got home, and she was huge. She's a huge star even to this day. That's when everyone was like, go fuck me! Like everyone like needs security to get from Home Depot back to the car. That bad. So yeah, like it was the difference happened, the switch happened so fast within a year. But then as I saw a lot more Black women, Cherokee, Pinky, especially Cherokee, she's given me a lot of advice and really has been, an icon to me. Talking to a lot of the OGs, Cotton Candy, Miss Cleo, whatever, they gave me all their support, and they really, I was like that young girl that they just kind of took under their wing, and really, whether we talk for years or not, I always appreciate them and the advice they gave me. I saw them start their own sites, and I saw them get behind the camera and really start their business. And that's when I was like, GoGo World. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That's and that's awesome. I mean, just the story. Yes, it took time. That's probably the biggest thing within the industry, and we've had people that we know here at home. They're like, oh, you know the industry. Well, we're going to get in, and we're going to be. And I'm like, it takes time. It takes commitment to go from your first set of scenes and another year. But as you said, that was back in the day where, it took
that long for the DVD to drop.
Yeah, and then distribution and all that stuff. It wasn't all of these companies with their websites out there and people sitting watching on their computers or on their phones. Like, that's changed over the last couple years.
And you had to be discovered back then.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You had to be something. Not saying that a lot of these girls aren't special, but you had to be something special, to get out there, and for them to be like, okay, we'll fly you out, and hair, makeup, wardrobe, mansion, all of that, because, and I get why the companies do it the way that they do now, because, I'm sure a lot of girls back then, it was intimidating for me, and I was already a dancer and shit like that. When you get on that set for the first time, you kind of shake it like a leaf. I can imagine how many girls back out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that really is. And, and we talk about it, like, shooting a scene isn't because, and like we've had guys that have reached out to the show on our email, and they're like, hey, how do we get in the industry? And I'm like, look, we've had so many of these conversations. Like, you got to realize one scene that is 30 minutes on finished could take you 4 hours.
6.
Or more.
Yeah, exactly. And throughout that time, you better be able to freaking get hard on command, to not blow your load until it's freaking time. Like, that is the
and
ultimate
then blow
edging.
when you're told to.
Yeah, you blow when you're told to, and you have the ultimate edging, essentially, for that whole thing. Are you comfortable with that? Can you do that? It takes a special person to be able to do that.
They don't make them like they used to. Like I said, I grew up, and I don't know why I grew up kind of like watching the guys and not the girls. But that makes sense, right? Watching the guys, because I'm like, instead of watching the girls necessarily. But when I tell you, these are sexual athletes. These are full-time sluts. And I say that in the most respectful, amazed way, okay? When I tell you, these men wake up and can fuck 5 times a day. These men wait, and they don't need nothing but the wind to blow to make their dick hard. And they will go and go. Back in the day, they didn't need, they have all this stuff now, but back then, it was just pure stamina and just sluttiness, and that's what made and on top of that, they looked good.
Yeah, back in the day, there were no blue pills, there were no Trimix, there was none of that shit back in the 80s. I mean, you had better do it.
And have a good body and good skin and stamina and know how to talk, and it wasn't, and let me talking. Can I just say, talking? If another guy taps me on the shoulder and goes, can you turn over? What? They used to grab a girl by her hair and flip her the fuck over and turn her legs and get on your knees, bitch, and open up wide and make that dick disappear. Like, it's like, can you scooch up a little bit? Scooch me.
Make me go. Yeah.
Make me go. Like, these
Like,
guys
be a man.
Yeah. There's some of the dominance that yeah, you gotta, like, it has to be there. And there's always a fine line, honestly. Like,
Yes.
we've had those conversations, and I think before we talked, I mean, us in the lifestyle over the last couple of years, we've gotten into what was always a hard no for us, and that was some of the kink and kind of the different realm. Well, Mrs. found out that she enjoys a flogger for all of about 2 minutes, and then she's like, "Oh, you need to fuck me now." After
We still need to work on.
After about 2
building that
minutes,
up.
after 2 minutes, she is just like, "Fuck me now, put that down, I need it," and I'm like, "But I'm just getting like warmed up and into the groove." But from my standpoint, I struggle with that dominance over like getting a flogger, and I'm like, all right, is that too hard? All right, should I be hitting you? But then, so that is something that you do got to work on, but at the same time, you still got to have some of it. Even prior to BDSM, it was like, all right, I am picking you up and I'm spinning you over, and this is what I want. Like,
Right.
this is where we're going. Yeah.
It was real. You really were into the guy, into the girl, into it. Even if it wasn't all about the guy, you were into the sex, right? And he knew kind of what he was doing. But also on the flip side of that, not saying that I want consent rolled back at all. Coming from the Wild Wild West that we came from, honey, I get why consent is like super important. Remember when we used to work on a 30-day test and not a 2-week test? Like, it was Wild Wild West back in the day.
Yep.
Not saying go back to that, but can we start vetting men and women that maybe don't mentally belong here?
That's fair.
Not physically. I feel like big women, small women, medium women, curvy women, pale women, dark women. Listen, the flavors are fine with me. It's just that there are some women and men mentally. For example, if I am squeamish and I pass out when I see blood, I can't be a surgeon.
Sure, yeah.
So if I'm triggered by semen or spanking or
Spit.
kissing,
spit or
Kissing.
pee or
if I'm triggered and it makes my job so mentally unbearable, maybe a porn star wasn't the occupation.
Yeah.
Because now it just makes mechanical porn.
And that shows on camera. And we've talked about that. You know, there are people that they are into the scene. They're meshing with their co-star. Like, they are into it and enjoying it. There's other scenes where you're like, boy, they are really forcefully acting. They're not enjoying this or into it. They might enjoy it, but they're not into it mentally. You can see that on camera.
They're here for the cut.
And you can't hide it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And to be honest, and you know, I might get flack for it, but I'm not necessarily always talking about male and female. You know, the one thing that I run into, right, is being put in a scene where there's lesbian action, and this girl is the farthest thing from a lesbian. And a lot of times I may be their first pussy, and I kind of blame the director or not, like the company for this, because it's one thing to want to try pussy. It's the next to put the biggest pussy and ass you've ever seen in your life in front of these girls, which is moi, right? Like, that's a lot. And then they look to me and they say, go carry it. Carry the scene, carry it. You know, and I'm like, this girl does not want to kiss me. She doesn't want her face down there. I'm just like tossing her and trying to think of every non-gay thing we could do. Put a dildo on my leg and let me bounce her or something, or, fake rubbing. Like, I don't want to have to carry it. There's a couple, and I'm using this opportunity to just show love to like these hardworking people because Lulu Chu. God, she's so sweet. I love her to death. Oh, she nasty. I love her. She was one tiny little thing that was like, toss me, eat me. I'm gonna put my face in it, and I'm just like,
Nice.
that girl. I don't know if she really likes pussy or not, but geez, she convinced me. Thick ass Daphne. She looked back. I know she's bi in real life because we're homies, but she looked back to me and she said, "I thought you were fake gay." She said, "You gay for real." That's how we were. And it's like,
and we've had people say exactly that to us because, I mean, Mrs. is openly straight up bi. She had her first female experience in the lifestyle. Literally the next day she goes, "Oh, there's no curiosity anymore. Holy shit, I love it." And
I love it here.
Yeah, and we've talked to other performers and they're like, "Yeah, we've been on those where it's just like, no, do it." And it's like, yeah, they barely put their tongue there. They don't this, they don't. And how do you, as you said, they're going for a check. And it reflects, at the end of the day, it reflects on both that person and yourself. Because you're co-stars. You have to work together to make the scene go. To make the scene make money. But if they're not into it, like, yeah, just flat out say, "Hey, look, I don't do girl stuff." Okay, cool. We'll make that a thing.
Or they think it'll be more guy, especially if they do like a boy, girl, or a boy, girl. Oh, those are the worst if the girls aren't into girls. Because what they do, there isn't but so much you could do on a guy with 3 girls. I mean, there's one penis, one mouth, and then a girl.
And then all they're doing is hogging the dick.
And you get kind of froze out. So I kind of, and I kind of want to push myself and other girls like me kind of to the front. Like, I get the analytics and stuff, but I think that if these companies took a chance and was like, really looked at it like, GoGo and girls like that are really bi, really lesbian, or really whatever, and really pushed us more so to the front. Because what happens is, and I'm not ashamed of it or anything, and I'm not like talking bad about it. I really do appreciate every opportunity I get. But when I do a lot of boy, girls, I'm usually the token black girl,
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm usually the token, right? And then, they put me with 2 girls that also have really good numbers and really good views, but they're not really gay. So then, even if I try to push myself to the front, it's almost like, no. Just hang back a little bit. Don't go full go-go, because my job isn't necessarily to be the front. Even if I know that I perform better, my job is kind of to be the token sometimes. So so it's kind of like, if they would give it a shot, right? If they would give it a shot, I think that the chemistry would actually help it sell. I think that if they really gave it a shot and they let some girls go crazy and really push the ones to the front that really could do the job, I think that they would be surprised. I could be so wrong. It's not like my site makes millions of dollars. We do fine, but I'm not like Brazzers or nothing. But I think what the things that sell for me, and me essentially keeping black on black porn alive, because everyone's interracial, everyone said, "Oh, it's dead. It doesn't make a lot of money." It makes really good money for me still. But I think it's also because I when I find a winner, I will shoot the shit out of them. When I find guys that are a winner that could get a girl there and can perform and they're nasty and they got the look and they're a Jack Slayer or something like that, I keep them on rotation. And when I find a girl that's literally like, "GoGo, point," and I fuck them, I keep that girl in rotation. Yum the Boss is like that. That's my baby. That's like my sister. Yum the Boss, she's like, I'm like, who who you want to shoot with, and I'll set it up. She's like, point, I fuck them. You know, here we go.
Hey, and that makes it good. That, as we said, it makes it good for you on the back end, for them, for the site, for everything, because that everybody's having fun. You're enjoying it. It's so, as we just like really talked about all this stuff, when you're not working, filming, any of that, when GoGo's not on the GoGo, what brings you kind of down to yourself? What is your kind of mental health? I need to get away. What do you do offset and outside of work?
So this is like, I'm glad. I know it sounds like a simple question, but I'm glad you really asked it, because I actually don't get asked this question a lot. And I really want other adult actresses to hear me clearly. You have to create a switch. There's a GoGo switch, and then my name is Saint Sarah. So there's a Saint Sarah switch. That's my real name. And I use that in kink, so I'm not afraid to put my name out there. Sarah has nothing to do with dick. It is very boring. It is very old lady. But when I tell you, it has contributed to my mental health. I don't burn out. I'm not jaded. I've been in the industry so long, you think like I'd have this like miserable attitude about it. I am still in love with the industry. I am still in love with this job. Because when I am Sarah, I have a little farm. I feed my chickens. I grow my strawberries. I read books in the garden. You know, I'm eating, apricots that we grow, anything that has nothing to do with penis or my body whatsoever,
and that's huge.
Yes.
It really is.
Because when I'm on set, it's about dick. When we're on our platforms, OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, whatever, we're always talking about sex, looking like sex, thinking about sex, working in sex. So there has to be a circle in your life where it has nothing to do with someone's penis or vagina or whatever they have, titties, you look in a certain way, talk in a certain way. And I had to learn the hard way. It is okay. I learned in therapy, actually. I had a therapist at one point years ago. And every time someone recognized me and wanted a picture, I felt obligated to give them a picture. I felt like I had to look like this, right? Something on my face, something, whatever, and I felt obligated to have a card, give out my info until I was in Toys R Us. When there was a Toys R Us, right? Before the pandemic, right? Like probably 8 years ago, something like that. And I had my mom and I had my kid with me. And two guys, camera phones already out. And I was like, no, I feel like a blanket over my kid. I'm like telling my mom to walk ahead. And they're like, we could crop them out the picture. And I'm like, no, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough. I'm with my family, and it took a lot for me to realize it's okay to say no. I give everything. I give my most vulnerable moments to the world. I can, and maybe that's why I'm so bad at social media too. Like they're like, you could do YouTube channels and do all these things and get ready with me. And I'm kind of like, when I'm off, that switch is off, all the way off. And, but it is very important. It is, even if you do YouTube, Instagram, whatever, it is very important to have something that has nothing to do. And also talk to your partner. If you have a partner, especially if they're a content creator too, let them know it's okay to have that boundary. Listen, I have a boundary. Sex when the sun is down. Sex when the sun is down.
Yeah.
Because when I wake up in the morning, I'm working on my platforms, Sex Panther, whatever. So by the time I have my coffee and scurry everybody out the house, I'm talking about sex, I'm being sexy, GoGo is on, right? Then when they come back, you're a mom, you're this
Yeah.
person, you're still busy. It's still not about you, right? So there has to be a time where, it's about me. And then when everything is done and the sun is down, then you can pull your dick out on me, sir.
Yeah. That's exactly it. It's about compartmentalizing all of that, and to be able to, we talk to a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, social media is always going, always going. Well, yeah, you need to, that drives so many people down. You need to be able to get away from it, and to be you, and to hear you say, hey, you figured that out, you understand it. That is one of the biggest, I think, stigmas within the industry. People outside, oh, everybody's crazy, it's drugs, it's alcohol, it's this, it's that. No, it really isn't. Yes, mental health is something that is a struggle for a lot of people, not even in the industry.
Right.
But you see it, unfortunately, that's the spotlight that shines on the industry. And we like to ask that question from everybody.
They like to villainize sexual women. I hope that changes by the time my little girl becomes a certain age, and I'm definitely raising, boys, that look at that differently, right? But I do think that when you combine mental health, right, mental illness, and a job like this, right, it is really hard if you don't have a plan. But I don't judge those people, because who gets into porn with a plan?
Well, exactly like you said. Hey, expected it to be a short time. I got it in to pay college bills. Essentially, that's what it. Why do most females start dancing at a club? Oh, because we're in college. We wanted to make a couple bucks. It seemed like it'd be a quick, easy couple bucks.
And there's even other reasons that are even deeper that we don't have to go into so much. But drugs, survival mode, pimps. I don't judge any of those girls. I just, no matter what point you are in your sex work career or job or whatever, sex work era, right? It's a stepping stone. It's not an end game, right? And make a plan. Even if you've been in my plan changes every 6 months. I reevaluate my plan, make sure that I'm still on track, or if things need to be tweaked. Right. My end game when I got into sex work and I was like, holy shit, like this is a world that I really admire and love. I wanted to open a strip club.
Okay.
And, but remember 2013 and until the pandemic, strip clubs were the thing.
Yeah.
A big money maker.
Yeah.
You could make a lot of money owning one, being in one, dancing. It was a really good economy in a bubble, right? From the guy that cooks the food to the hookah guy to the photographer guy, everyone was making money. But after the pandemic, strip clubs are in the shitter, right?
It really is. That industry. We talk to general managers and owners all the time, and it's like, wow, dancers and stuff. And again, unfortunately, guess what? For that, you can sit at home on your computer on OnlyFans or ChatterBait or anything like that, and you don't have to go out. Rather than the strip club, you're not worried about a DUI. You're not worried about this. You're not worried about that. Like, I think a lot of that has changed that industry where, it really suffers. We go to a club regularly to see features that are traveling and things.
Dead.
And they are. We've gone on a Saturday night and we're like, there are big name in the industry that we're great friends with that have been in town, and we went and saw them on Friday and Saturday, and she was like, shit, I made in the weekend what I used to make in half of a Friday night. As a feature.
So I looked at my plan, right? And that had to tweak a little bit, this is it maybe financially, even though my heart is there, it's not financially that, and then you tweak it a little bit. and then you know, you stay focused, on that plan,
Mm-hmm.
and porn and stripping and sex work, it should always just be a stepping stone towards that goal that really fulfills you. I don't care what it is. Queen Rogue wanted to own a fleet of trucks, and by God, that pussy paid for them fleets of trucks, and that's not a cheap fucking goal, and
No,
that
yeah,
and that's a beautiful thing.
yeah,
So I think that that also helps with mental illness
yep,
when you know where you're going and you can have perspective and have focus.
yep.
So whatever you do, to your listeners that are thinking about sex work, or I don't care how long you've been in it, you can stop right now, make your plan, design your Venn diagram, your sex work life, your personal life, the places where they connect sometimes, and really like put your boundaries up and enjoy the personal time that you're not go-go, that you're not whatever. And I also, appreciate go-go and the sex work industry. It'll always have my heart, because one thing I wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Why
And
not? Perfect.
this life gave me, that's where the Venn diagram connects. Home was
Awesome.
always number one for me. I grew up with a Huxtables upbringing. I know we feel some kind of way about Cosby now, but that, that
Yeah, yeah.
upbringing,
Right.
I was adopted into a beautiful family that at first was like, what porn shit are you talking about? Like they are very much like not porn people, not sex worker people, but they love me and gave me such a good upbringing. I would not raise my kids differently than my mother raised me. I would not.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing, me going into sex work had nothing to do with them. I have a wonderful daddy, like all of
Yeah.
that, no daddy issues, other than I miss him dearly because he passed. But yeah, like home was always, that I have a 50s kink. That 50s pie is ready when like
Yeah.
I have it definitely, with me being an alpha submissive to my man, like I have a 50s kink. So that A-line dress, hair pinned up and honey dinners on the table at 5:36 and blah blah. That always came first for me. And believe it or not, this life gave me that.
Yeah, the ability to have that, and yeah, and again have that for your family as well, which again, that plan. And we had the conversation with another performer that we've become friends with over the years at Miami Exotica. And she'd actually said that. She went, you know what? My performing and my content creation money has allowed me to open 4 other businesses. And I do this stuff. And now I content create and I have fun when I want to do it. But I travel and I have my other. She's like, and that was kind of the plan when I got in. Essentially, an end game. Everybody in life has to have an end game. So
A lot of people don't.
exactly. You go into corporate world and you're like, oh, there's my 401k. That's my end game. Well, not
Yeah.
necessarily. What is above and beyond that? Sex work in the industry is that way. It just doesn't have a 401k. You got to be able to plan and be smart with that to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you can make a 401k.
Yep.
Yeah, you could do all those things. And, my number one thing is I'm not passing this camera. I'm not passing GoGo World down to anybody. I want to be able to pass something else down. But, that's why this industry, I think that's what that has kept me from burning out, from becoming cynical, from, if you go on social media, you never see me in drama, you never see me in these things. But also, I'm kind of like sliding into MILF Town. So I'm kind of at a point in my career, in my life, where if I don't find joy in it, I ain't going to do it.
There it is.
I'm that grumpy old lady. It doesn't make any sense. Mom, I ask my mom that all the time. She's 88 years old. She adopted me. And she, I'm like, Mom, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? She's like, because I don't want to. And it doesn't make sense to me, but now it does. If it doesn't bring me joy, I want to be able to say I don't want to.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's my piece, and that's it, So, find that what makes you joy and make this work towards that, because you're not, your pussy runs out. It does.
There's a final end game for that as well. So yeah, you better have that next step.
Yes,
And
people keep telling me, "Oh, pussy is plentiful. Pussy rejuvenates and recharges. You never run out of pussy. That's why you can always sell it." No, 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 no. I'm 35. I'm 35. Pussy runs out. That thing gives up. You ever had your pussy give up on you? It gives up. I found that out the hard way. Goldie put a hole in the left side of my pussy.
oh shit.
Wow.
Went to the hospital because he curves. He curves
yeah.
out. And he's rough. He's a rough one. But just constantly,
Just
and
a
then
constant
and went to the
pound. Oof.
hospital. It said she told you she needs a break.
Yep.
Pussy runs out.
Wow. And again, yeah. And your body needs a break. All right, here we go, and you move on. So having that plan, the end game, have fun, enjoy it while you can, make it the ride of your life, and slide off right into something else.
Yep.
And keep
don't
moving.
care about what those people are going to say about your past. I don't care what anyone says about my past. They're not going to buy you 5,000 square foot house like mine. They're not going to buy you a pool. They're not going to buy you cars and private education for your family. They're not going to do any of that. They will always call a woman covered in a damn burqa. They're going to find a way to call her a damn whore. Who cares? Stumble out of your 20s. All you young girls in your 20s, stumble out them bitches. Okay.
Yep. Have fun and live life. We're here for a short time, not a long time. I mean, I've said that. Like, hey, if you got it, have fun, do it. Don't be ashamed of it. And it's you. You're making your own roadmap.
In your 30s. Yep. Figure out how to fix it in your 30s. All them tickets, all them problems. Fix it in your 30s, and then have it figured out by the time you're 40. That's it. And not even by the time you're 40. 40s to 50. That's when you're kind of like, I get it. Okay. But, and even with everything that I've accomplished, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my mid 30s. And let me tell you, I'm fixing shit still.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
In my 20s.
Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No,
you live and learn.
Because I had a ball. I've been clean for 10 years.
Nice.
But I had a ball and didn't hurt anyone along the way, thank God.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it has been a great time getting to know you. It's been great conversation. As we wind down, one more time, can you let everyone know where they can find you online and on social media?
Yes, my Twitter is GoGo Fuck Me 3X. So GoGo FUKME number 3 and the letter X. Instagram is Saint Sarah Bruja BRUJA, and GoGoWorldPorn.com is the official site partnered with YPP, your pay site partner. They do great work. So GoGoWorldPorn.com. The new site is up. And also, vote for me. Oh, wait. By the time you drop this.
Well, yeah, because you are up for an Urban X Award.
Two
of them. Yes.
Yeah. Hottest star and curvaceous creator. So vote for me, Urban X.
Yes. Make sure you get those votes in. We do talk about that regularly. So, yeah. A nice little plug there. Well, good luck to you there.
Thank you. I'm nominated every year for something, but it's been like 8 years since they've given me anything. So, but
the nominations say a lot too, though.
Oh yeah. But a piece of hardware is always nice. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So I'd like that paperweight on my desk. I would like that. So yeah, vote for me there. And anything else? I do have a TikTok, GoGo Zombie, and a YouTube, GoGo Zombie.
All right.
And but those are the main places to catch me.
Yeah. Check out GoGo's worldporn.com. That again, main thing. Hit there, and I'm sure, and you can get everywhere else from there. So that's awesome. So again, it has been a pleasure. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Good luck with your Urban X Awards. And as we get into the rest of award season, AVN, XBiz, all the other stuff. So sure we'll be seeing your name on those nominations here with other things as well.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And this was an amazing convo. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Well, hey, as we said, we talked a lot about everything throughout this episode here.
But she has a lot going on.
Yeah. Again, from all of her performing to the website, and really the website is phenomenal. The stuff that she has going on there, and as she said, she's putting her own thoughts and her own visions into that. So make sure you check her out. Look at the work she is doing.
She's trying to bring the glamour back.
Yeah. and really just such a great person. We had a blast. Again, thank you, Lainey. And well, with that, we think it's time to go.
See ya.
Don't forget to follow us on our social medias. Berg Couple for Fun on Twitter and Instagram. The Bergs on Facebook and Reddit. OnlyFans.
No.
What's the OnlyFans? There's two of them.
There are.
Did you? Yeah, I remember that one. There's two of them. So there is ours. Is Berg Couple for Fun, but then
Yes.
Mrs. has her own.
That's right.
Oh. And that is
Mrs. Berg.
all right. So you can catch us there as well. You can hit us up on email, thebergs@inourtub.com.
Right.
Our website is inourtub.com.
Catch us on Free Swap or
Full.
Yeah, full Free Swap. Full Swap Radio. See, you asked me if I remember my
Free
lines.
for all swap. I mean, hey.
On Full Swap Radio.
Yes. Monday at 9 and Fridays at 1. And hey, keep an eye out on those social medias that's where our travel plans and the upcoming where we gonna be is gonna be. So, with that, remember to pay for your porn. Support all the wonderful, beautiful content creators and performers that we have on this show, that we know within the industry. Take care of yourself, mental health. Do what makes you keep ticking and being yourself. Remember to wrap it before you tap it. Lick it before you stick it. And until next time.
We'll keep the lights on in the tub warm for you.